young towers.
Yeah, stay close to the support.
Yeah, and it's really hard for Slark to engage into you. And DP really makes that even difficult. Like, it doesn't matter if you have BKB or like Scotty, you just get burned down by the damage output.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the MVP's way of dealing with it, but we got to wait and see. I think Batrider will make a pretty good addition to what 4ASC has right now.
I really like the way MVP draft. Like, they don't just say, okay, these heroes are heroes that everyone picks, and these are good heroes. They actually look at the previous games that they play, and they're like, okay, this hero had a huge impact in this game. Let's get rid of that. This one had a massive impact. Like, so they've banned like nearly. Yeah, they played all these heroes today, and the Viper actually not to great success, but the other three I think went really well.
Yeah, I think that like right now, playing against Viper in general is one of those really annoying, like kind of 5-manish heroes that people just hate to deal with in general. Really good laner, overall tough to deal with, especially when you're not entirely sure if you want to run. Well, I guess they picked Ogre Venge. You could definitely run with that. But still a hero who I think is quite strong in a lot of aspects. But as far as overall draft goes, I still kind of like what 4ASC are doing a little bit more than what MVP Phoenix have.
They seem more flexible.
Yeah, I mean, you have good team fight in the sense that you have a Tidehunter and a Sky. Slark is obviously not always an amazing 5-man hero, but we've seen the critical mass that he can achieve in a game and just start becoming like, okay, well, our Ogre and our Venge are going to die every single fight because of Slark, and there's not really a whole lot we can do to stop it. And that becomes a really big issue later on.
I think with Slark as well, you can pick like a greedier like offlane or mid because of the amount of space Slark creates in the mid game. Like, when 4Anchors played him before, he'd always just be roaming around the middle of the map, like just out of sight or in sight really quickly. And it puts so much pressure on the enemy to 5-man that you can split push a lot easier, I think.
I actually think that when you have a Slark, one of the most important thing is the first 15 minutes of the game. The more tier 1s you can lock down.
Yeah, so he has more space to roam. Like.
Basically, yeah. Like if you lose all your outer tier 1s, and the enemy Slark, let's say, have a Blink or a Shadow Blade, your supports can't even leave the tier 2. Yeah. So I think having a particular pick that could allow you to push early or get kills and then push is good. So we'll see if 4AC is going to do that, but Anti-Mage is going to get the pick up here.
I think Anti-Mage is a really good answer to Slark because Slark is one of those heroes that really is aggressive and wants to try to make things happen and fight. Where if you look at 4ASC, sure, Skywrath is a little bit scary for an AM during like the preliminary 25 minutes of the game.
And then it turns around completely.
Right, and then suddenly it's like, oh crap, we actually don't have any way to deal with this guy anymore because he has a Manta and a Battle Fury, right? So when it gets to that point, it's all about which hero jumps who first. We're talking like late game Abyssal Blades between the two of them. Like that can be a point where AM just pushes into you so hard that the Slark is forced to deal with that because he's going to be the only hero who can deal with that.
It's very, very difficult to solo kill an anti-mage Slark as well. Like as far as carry heroes go, you're not doing it nearly.
I mean, vice versa, I guess.
Yeah, well,
until AM reaches a critical mass.
The thing I see in AM is like in the middle of a really, really big team fight, Slark is going to blink and go and Venge or Ogre. And AM's one of them heroes that can instantly react to that and blink to that side of the fight and help them out.
I also think that it's nice that most of Slark's counter are also AM's counters, and they're not in the pool anymore, so if Slark's going to have a free range, same thing with Anti-Mage.
That's true, man.
Yeah, I really like that point, actually. It's like no Void, no Doom, no LC even. Yeah. I mean, those are the major ones. The other thing is they play different games, but they're both very, like, stay away from me type of heroes. You know, they don't really play with their team a whole lot.
They're kind of loners.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so they're both going to spend time away from each other and their teammates. They're basically just like, we're going to build a log cabin in top and bottom lane and just live there.
And they like message each other on Steam, like, okay, I'm moving top now.
Yeah.
You go bottom.
But I think it's a really creative way to just say, instead of going for a hero that we can use to kill the Slark, let's get a hero that can actually draw attention of the Slark to us. Because without the help of that hero, even between Sand King Tide and Skywrath late game, you're not killing the AM. Like it's all magic damage. You're not going to be able to burst him down.
Yeah.
So in a way, I feel as though MVP have a roundabout way of dealing with it, but it should work quite well.
Okay, I really dislike the Sand King pick for a couple of reasons. First of all, Sand King demands a lot of stacking, but the pressure from Avenge Ogre early is pretty strong, where you really need two supports that could kind of fight or reinforce your lanes. Secondly, 4ASC, I think when they're really playing well, is when Drax gets to roam around and do a lot. Yeah. Like, remember the 2 Earthshaker game where he is getting multiple blocks, where he's rescuing his allies, and then the Rubik game where he's lifting Venge onto cliffs. Like, he's like winning lanes just by himself. When I see him play on Sand King, the blink dagger timing have been slow, and he just hasn't been able to give the same impact to his team as he has done in the past. Looks like we're gonna see a core Enigma, so we're gonna have it all. We have one silence, one black hole, and a way to split push, I guess. This is actually a really strong 5-man team.
They do Ogre offlane, or is that what's happening here?
I think Enigma's gonna be the offlane.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm personally not a big fan of 4ASC Sand King, but maybe they have
I
made it
think
better.
offlane Ogre actually could be better. Like, if you send Enigma to the offlane, you're at the very least threatening that the Enigma
Won't get farm.
But if he goes in the jungle and the Ogre goes top, the Ogre would still be able to probably get some EXP. The Sand King would probably want to prioritize farming the woods over zoning out an Ogre, and you still have a Skywrath for that.
The position of the pick lets me think, okay, they see, okay, Sand King, they're going to only have a dual lane top. It's going to be a lot safer for the offlaner. We were maybe going to pick our offlaner here, but Ogre can actually do it, so let's do that.
Yeah. So I think MVP Phoenix actually has put together quite a clever team here.
And the way they drafted it is so well. Like, picking Sand King before you know their offlaner, like 100%, unless they were convinced that it was going to be Ogre the whole time. Or it is for it. Okay, so...
Well, I mean, the players on these team kind of switch around.
That's true, we have no way of knowing.
From what it seems, Reason and March are going to be tier 2 support. And the reason I personally like Enigma offlane here is, first of all, you could deny creeps and pull lanes kind of slowly back to your side. And the 3 Eidolons against a, 0 or 1 armor Skywrath mage, like, you could come in and chuck bolts at you, but your Eidolons and plus your right click, you can kind of fight back pretty well, provided that Jerax is off stacking and doing his thing. So I don't think this is actually too bad of a lane matchup.
They could actually 2-1-2, honestly, for MVP Phoenix.
And it's also really nice to gank into Enigma's lane. Like, for example, if you're harassing Enigma, suddenly it's a Venge Ogre coming out of smoke, and, you know, Skywrath Mage is going to eat a stun or two, and he's going to be dead.
I really like anti-mage against Tidehunter, actually, because most melee heroes struggle so hard because of Anchor Smash. But if you are aggressively mana burning him the whole time, like, he's not going to have any Anchor Smashes, and you'll have a lot better time.
Yeah, I mean, even in the beginning of the game, you actually don't even care about eating them, because if he tries to Anchor Smash you to bully you off the creep wave, you just hit him.
Yeah.
Like, you're just like, fine, Anchor Smash me, because the mana burn still works.
Yeah.
Doesn't do anything less, so... MVP doing their traditional 5-manning into the enemy side of the map straight away.
So Reason has gone for Boots and a Tango, so that's... Is that they're going to roam quite heavily, or...
I mean, this is pretty standard.
Yeah, like, Boots first allows you to harass so much. A single Ignite allows you to get off like 3 or 4 physical hits.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how MVP actually lane this. I don't really think there's any pressure on them to go aggressive, but they could do a lot of things with their laning phase. Going to have to find out what that's going to be soon, as they're placing some wards here.
So we might see a little bit of lane dodging. If Boogie gets ignited, he's just dead.
30 seconds to battle.
He's quite fast, though, Skywrath. Like, he will get quite a large distance.
We might see a level 1 here.
Does he learn Gush?
I think the Dire level 1 might be actually a lot better.
With the heal from Necrolite?
The heal, the multiple concussive shots, the Burrow Strike.
Leap.
Yeah. So it looks like no fight happens and everybody backs off.
The last thing you want to do on, an Enigma or a Tidehunter is learn the wrong spell at the start of the game, you know, for that level 1 engagement.
Sure.
And then all of a sudden your lane is just completely screwed.
Yeah, there's nothing like having to get a level 1 Malefice.
Yeah, what do I do with this?
Oh boy, it can be tough.
Or level 1 Gush or something like that.
We didn't really talk about the Necrophos too much, but it is a hero who is very nice against Death Prophet and AM to an extent. Like, the AM, obviously, the Reaper Scythe does a little bit less damage, but the plus 30-second res timer and eventually getting an Aghanims can be very good against a hero like that.
That mana pool.
No, honestly, Necrophos wins games. Like, he is my favorite hero at the moment, just because no matter how bad the game's going, you can always win the game with Necro if you have a little bit of push behind it.
Yeah, it's like you Reaper one hero with Aghanims, and that's like the core.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, you have like 2.5 minutes of no hero.
The body blocks with the illusion. He might actually get this kill. He should be claritying back up right now. He will clarity. It's a little bit slow. Burrow Strike's going to come through. The first blood from Jerax. Take back everything I said about him being ineffective on Sand King early on. Getting the first blood on a safe lane Enigma. Absolutely beautiful.
All right, well, that was definitely interesting.
He's such a good player, Jerax. Holy crap. Like, I've watched his stream before, but like this, in every single game he's played today, he's impressed me.
Yeah, I think his Earthshaker play was really up there as well. Like, some of the best that I think I've seen in a while. Like, when he got the Fissure block on 3 spirits and managed to TP away and what otherwise would have been like
in the base?
death. Yeah.
In the enemy base?
Definitely some good stuff. So, in bottom lane, it's just going to be Enigma versus a Tide, and MVP have just decided to go on the aggressive, which I do like for a couple of reasons. The first is that the Sand King, even though Jerax got first blood, and that's definitely mad props to him, the supports can move around and really look for him and make it so he can't jungle. So even though he got this early kill, I think that the transition out of this kill is going to be, oh crap, what do I do now? You know, because you managed to kill 4Ev, but your game plan essentially is try to get a blink, and I think that's going to be pretty tough with the kind of pressure that the MVP are currently prioritizing towards top. And Slark still suffers from the same issues as most other heroes against AM, is that you can trade, but you're trading damage for your mana pool, and your mana pool is your survivability during the early game.
Flack's kind of the same, though. He steals mana as well, technically.
Well,
a
not
little,
at the
a lot
mass
less.
amount that AM steals.
And it's only for 30 seconds, right? And then it comes back.
So, when I see Tide under against Enigma, right, at this stage of the game, like, the Eidolons actually don't do any damage to him because of Kraken Shell and Anchor Smash. Like, he can just farm them all day. I think.
This is a
I
kill.
actually think they're just going to kill 4Ev again. So I think we found the weakness of MVP's draft is that the Enigma, even in this matchup,
He can't do anything.
the first blood, even without it, I think that you're not necessarily going to be able to do well against a Tide Shane for the reasons that you were saying. But, I mean, this is now, I think,
It's only going to get worse.
yeah. The Slark isn't farming at all, which is good. I mean, he's got 0 CS at 2 minutes in. And if the AM gets a really good start and gets like early Battle Fury treads, I think the game will still be pretty easy to recover if you're MVP. But it is kind of, it's awkward that 4Ev is having such a hard time.
If I'm 4 anchors here,
Could be the first counter kill of the game here. MVP going on Valix, 1 stun to be thrown out. March actually just backs
Sand
right
King.
away. Jerax is just on top of his game here, getting a nice counter stun onto Ryzen. March thinking about going back in, but tanks 2 tower shots in his sides. It's probably not worth it.
We saw Heen in the last game. He went for the like very, very greedy, like just straight up boots rush on Vengeful Spirit. And if March had done the same thing there, I think they would have got that kill actually.
Yeah. I think if Valix had any mana, they would have actually just ended up getting a kill themselves. Jerax being spotted out here. March has made his way towards bottom, just saying, yeah, you guys, you need more help than our top lane AM does. All this means they're going to be sacrificing AM's farm too. So it's like, they need to be decisive about which hero they're okay with not having a good start. And honestly, the AM needs a better start more than the Enigma.
I actually think the bottom lane could be salvaged still. What you want to do in this particular case is you just try to Eidolon and pull the lane back. And don't worry about using the Eidolons on the Tide. I think you use Eidolon to like actually stack and pull camps on the bottom.
Okay.
And then if you get a pull off, then essentially you're just denying a lot more experience. Solo kill, or actually double kill on top from him. Nicely done.
Oh, it's just 1 kill.
Just
Sorry,
a single kill.
2 versus 1 kill is what I meant to say.
Yeah. So they've actually switched it up, and they said, okay, March, you go bottom, you farm. I'll go back to the jungle from
He's still very susceptible to a barrel strike and then a couple of right clicks because he still doesn't have breach it. But
I mean, this is the best of both worlds, right? As opposed to having one hero just not doing well, they're saying, our Enigma's still going to jungle. Jerax has made the rotation towards top lane.
And you're still getting kills top on Heen.
Yeah,
So
and now the Enigma's farming.
Yeah.
And DS is getting experience. So I feel as though MVP, during the early game, it's like, their decision-making so far, to me, has been pretty superb. Even though they've given away 2 kills, they're making the best of the situation.
can they even try to get this kill on Tide? They don't actually do any damage.
I mean, they're doing a little bit.
I mean,
they're
Kraken-
definitely doing damage.
well, that's because they use magic missile, whatever.
Here comes the Regoose, 4Ev. He's going to eat a concussive shot and an arcane bolt. 1 more auto attack from Bougie.
And he got level 6 from that?
Oh, that hurts. That hurts bad.
He literally just picked up level 6 from that kill, and then he's like, okay, I'll learn my ultimate.
And Eidolon gold. Trixie is unbelievably farmed. 2 kills, 34 CS. Of course, a lot of those are Eidolons, but they give almost the same gold.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Melee creeps.
mid.
Valix in the meantime, middle lane. Going to be dropping here.
Poor little Necrolite.
Yeah, Necrophos is really easy to kill. Like, even just Ogre rotating is enough to even put him low enough to where he would think about having to go back. But when sitting at half HP, it's an assured kill, more or less.
Pretty scary stuff. Matumba, man. Out of mana. When he gets level 6, he might have a little bit of a better time in this lane. Because he can, you know, go regen up a bit, then go back in and farm a bit more.
That's when you can actually start like aggressively trading with the AM, when you don't rely on your mana to live anymore. As long as you know that you're not going to get like ganked or anything like that. He ain't going to eat a stun here.
Nice,
Forced to
nice
blink out.
choice.
Yeah, didn't blink straight back. But I don't think Jerax had a second stun anyway, and it's only level 1. That
So
Trixie-
Jerax has been applying a lot of pressure this game,
Yeah.
but he's not really like. There's no way he's gonna have like that 6 minute or 8 minute blink dagger that you usually see.
What do you guys feel about Trixie's item choice here? He's done very well, and he's going straight for a mech. Normally on Tidehunter nowadays we see arcane to blink, no questions asked.
I don't know. I think that the mech is still really useful here. He's going to get stunned up. X is being popped. Body
Use the
blocks
buckler.
coming out
Use
from
the buckler.
QO. There's no way he's living through that. Not a chance.
Yeah, I don't.
And unfortunately, Crack and Shell don't work against spookiness.
Yeah, I like the decision to just TP bottom immediately after that haste rune. Very smart.
And they get a terror out of it probably as well. Unless we like who would rotate? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
okay,
I
Sky.
mean, honestly, you would probably rotate Jerax just because he's low level right now.
Yeah, and he needs to.
But he wouldn't be able to farm under the tower. So, I mean, that's a trade-off, right?
That was unlucky. Necro nearly got a kill with his Reaper Scythe middle. It like
I mean, he still got a kill, but he didn't get the extra 30 seconds. Right.
30 seconds on 15 seconds is pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. 7 minutes into the game, 1 minute respawn. I think that's when you just like contemplate your life choices, right?
Yeah.
You're just like, man, why am I dead?
When are they gonna do the 10, 20, 30 respawn timer for level 0? It's actually ridiculous. Level 1 doing that.
Yeah, but 30 seconds in the early game isn't as big as 30 seconds in the late game.
I think it's bigger.
I disagree. Because, okay, it's bigger if you can't buy back. Or can buy back.
Yeah, but that's a different
Wait.
aspect to the ulti.
What am I trying
I think it's
to
actually
say?
bigger in the late game because when you have a plus 30 timer on late game and you have to buy back, your next one is like, oh
Yeah.
my god.
Okay.
You're like taking it so much.
But I'm talking about like just like percentage lost. You
I
know
mean,
what
still the early game, not
clearly.
farming for 30
Yeah,
seconds.
You're right about that. I just mean like the impact of the ability itself is better in late game.
Oh, dude, of course, yeah.
Now, Bruno and I actually had an interesting discussion about Reaper Scythe.
Yeah?
Like, imagine if Reaper Scythe didn't do anything.
Like no damage?
No damage, right?
Okay.
But if you just place a buff and they get killed during the buff and they had a plus 30 death timer, would you still use that spell?
Of
If
course.
it wasn't an ulti,
No, it's no. Just like that's the only thing it changed is it didn't do any
I think it
damage.
would be pretty solid. But you
It's
would
still
have to,
so broken, though.
It would have to be a really weird skill set to partner with that, though, right?
The problem
you'd
is
have to be able to secure kills to have a skill like that.
Yeah.
he has 275 damage nuke. Like, what's he gonna do with that ulti? What's your favorite build on Necrolite? Like, what the Blink Dagger?
I'm really a fan. Like, I did Atos for a really long time.
Atos is legit, man.
Yeah. I never did the double ring of protection. That's something that I never did. But I always really liked going phase drums Atos because your mobility is actually fairly good with just
Yeah.
phase drums. And you can chase so much. And people really, I think, undervalue good positioning on a Necrophos.
Yules is also pretty good on him. I don't think I've seen many people get it.
I think the middle lane, Valix is going to get sent up
Double
here.
TP.
Immediate double TP reaction. QO pops the X's him. They burst him down straight away. Jerax, he wants a stun. He wants to go for one. He's going to find March.
Trixie out of nowhere.
in the back. He does not have Ravage, but they do manage to end up taking out QO
March is
anyway.
like, "Please ward."
March wants to deward. Wow, swap into the river. Really
Okay,
nicely done.
space
Jerax is in a
created.
stun mana.
Oh, but
Oh, he's dead.
All right. So much for
Boogie
space
made that
created.
very anticlimactic.
What
Yeah.
did he use that Ravage?
Yeah, I
He
guess
used
he used it in the
like
woods.
the jungle
it was a jungle ravage.
for nobody except the neutrals.
Interesting.
I think he got a little bit antsy. He's like, "I'm coming, guys."
Oh, shit.
Oh, wait.
I think I heard him shouting too. I think he said something about Ravage, but it was in Finnish, so I couldn't really make out what he said. But he probably said something along the lines of, "I might have just ravaged nothing. I'm sorry." And then he just walked in and
Remember
got a
that
kill anyway.
stacked camp? Well, it's dead now.
Gold secured.
So back to Necrolite's item choice. What do you think is good in this particular game?
I
I
think-
feel like there's so much burst that you just want to tank up, right?
Okay, so you could argue both ways though. Like late game, they're gonna have so much like split pushing and from anti-mage that if you get that Blink Dagger sight, it actually could be pretty good.
Okay.
Or I don't know. I still.
Oh.
Lord. Jerax,
Ooh.
taking a ton of damage here. Gonna be forced to
But
run
yeah,
away.
I do agree. You should tank up in this game.
I think Aghanims is still strong. I think, well, Blink is also strong. With Tumbaman possibly dropping here solo to Heen.
Nicely
Stark
done.
dropping to the
He's
AM.
playing really good.
Yeah.
He's just mind his own business, getting the solo kills when he can.
Minding his own business, second highest net worth. This AM is going to be a massive issue.
Look at middle. Like, why is there like 9 people in middle?
This is
Help.
such an advantageous
Help.
position for heroes like AM, though, because it's so apparent what 4SC want to do.
Yeah.
And
Go on.
you can just avoid it so easily. Like, it's effortless. Once he starts getting his Battle Fury out, his treads, he's just going to farm like an absolute monster. And 4ESC are going to quickly find themselves in a position where they're going to have nothing to deal with it. Like, your Slark has no farm because he had a horrible start. Swap in middle lane. Valix getting caught out here once again. Right,
Epicenter.
Oh, no.
He
boy.
made a boo-boo.
Well,
You know what that was?
Wait,
That
what
the
happened to
wave
his
of terror.
blink?
Wave of
Oh,
terror.
wave of terror canceling the blink? Okay.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
I mean, to be honest, they would have backed anyway because that's daytime high ground epicenter, right? So you are always seen, and he was standing right next to the banner.
Yeah.
So you just flat out see that.
Well, they're pushing into Ravage and a mech from the TIE Hunter.
This is
so
scary.
We'll see if they're going to actually defend this
Oh.
top. Burrow Strike,
Nice
Ravage,
stun.
everything gets dropped here, and looks like Heen's going to get
Oh.
dropped down immediately.
That was a terrible mistake.
Well, the ghosts are coming out right now. The heals are pretty big coming out from the Dire
mana.
side. The Black Hole's going to come through. They want to bring Valix down. They will successfully do so. And they're winning this fight despite the mech and Ravage.
Why do you rotate as anti-mage here? You have a Preservance, and your top lane, you're free farm.
I agree with that choice. Why do you rotate?
It doesn't.
I mean, you kind of feel pretty confident behind things like Black Hole and Exorcism, right? They're going to try to kill Bougie here.
Jeez.
Boogie.
against a Skyrat, a Ravage, and a Blink Sanking.
It's more like it's not. It doesn't matter what spells they have. It's more like what do you actually contribute if you're
Yeah,
here?
exactly.
You
You have
don't.
a
You don't
present.
do anything. So I actually would have liked if just
I guess
pressured.
you can mana void.
To
Yeah.
be fair, I think that was kind of like a space created feed, to be honest, because they still killed and they got a tower. But just hear me out, right?
Okay. I made a funny face at Andy.
Hear me out.
Dire's middle
So when you
tower
go
is
in
under attack.
and the other team engages on you, dumps everything, and they kill a support and a core, sounds bad. But you get to tier 1, Mutombo Man's probably going to kill March here. I don't really see much way of him living through this. But,
Swap.
well, he has actually high want charge. Is stun under the tower,
Okay.
no secondary Dark Pact. Actually, he's going to be just fine. So the AM dies, which sucks. But if the AM was top and 4ESC did that same thing, that push would have been destroyed and they would have defended the tier 1.
I'm not sure about that.
Well, he did absorb a lot of damage,
He did.
so there's that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is
Yeah.
like if Heen wasn't there and they like 4ESC engage in the same way, that push is thwarted, the DP dies immediately, they maintain the tier 1. I would argue that having the tier 1 dead is more important to Heen than even just eating one death. Because AM really relies on being able to like farm and fog, go to lanes when he feels like he can, and split push. So
I
the more
feel like
towers that
that's,
you get, it's better.
Okay. Yeah, I can agree with
It's
that.
like a very good way to justify it. I don't
that's
buy. I
what-
don't
that's
buy
what
the
I mean.
argument.
Totally be like an attorney.
I-
right?
I don't buy the argument.
Like-
I don't buy the argument for a second.
don't
Meanwhile,
even-
Sand King got Burrow Strike. Ooh, looks like Gripstorm's going to miss. Because the way I see it is that instead of AM eating all the nukes, it could be Ogre that eats a nuke. They still get the tower, and guess what? AM's getting the top tower, at least harassing it as well. But I mean, we're kind of arguing over
No, I'm saying
nothing
they,
at this
they
point.
engaged because the AM was there. That's what I'm saying.
Sure,
Okay.
but what remains
Reason.
is Reason is dead.
No.
Well, can you just TP out?
No Ravage for 2 seconds.
I like how he just claps his hands together with the club and he's like, I'm TPing away.
Bye bye.
Top lane looks like a little bit of trouble for that Vengeful Spirit.
This is
Oh, the
tight.
silence went on a
Oh,
range
tight.
creep, but it looks like Venture might be a little bit of trouble. He swaps out of it, and my god, the ghosts are doing so
There's
much
Ravage
damage. Yeah, Ravage gonna get used. It's only just for the crop.
That mech.
Okay.
He just had mana. deep.
Oh, okay.
I take it back.
All right, Mutombo Man has no mana right here. I think he wants to chase. Might go for some body blocks. He doesn't have his Battle Fury yet. His damage is not that high. Nice Burrow coming in from
Does he still
Jerax.
chase him?
He still
He-
chases, yeah,
yeah.
for sure. He's actually just going to mana burn Jerax once.
Man, should have been on the agility threats.
Why did Jerax leave the smoke cloud there?
What do you mean, leave the Sandstorm?
Yeah, when he was right by his tower.
Well, I mean, if you just stay there forever, you probably assume that one of the heroes on the other team has detection, right? And then maybe they come and kill you.
I don't think he wants to find out whether they have detection or not. So,
Okay.
Sandstorm and get the hell out. But Ravage is down, and they're gonna just push off of this. There's not much 4ASC could do. Epicenter is on cooldown, I believe.
Attack.
Yes.
Does Necro by blink? Okay, it does.
Actually, it's not. Could be dangerous.
This is a little bit risky here, coming in from
Oh
MVP.
my
They're going to
God,
get
Jerax.
Burrow Strike. 4Ev, he gets silenced. He does have Black Hole if he manages to live through it. March throwing out a stun on Trixie to prevent the gush for a little bit longer. Valix actually
Black-
eating a stun in the back as
Do
well.
it!
No, he would have died. Trixie wouldn't have been in it, and he would have anchored.
He had Skyrat ulti the whole time.
Yeah.
As well.
Well, that one didn't end up working out so well for them.
Battle Fury finished on Heen,
Yep.
so there's that.
Battle Fury treads. This is it. This is the time.
To relax and farm.
Tower
Yep.
is under attack.
So for games like this, I actually think going straight Manta is a better choice. Usually I'm a huge supporter of the Vlad's build.
Yeah.
Because of what it allows you to do, like farming the Ancients, being at high HP all the time, which makes you harder to gank. But against double blink and the potential of a Skywrath silence, I think that Manta just makes it much safer for you to split farm. And
So-
instead of having to off-map farm, you can farm lanes.
Wow, they're throwing everything on the TIE Hunter. TIE Hunter does not have the Ravage.
He has
Won't have the
mech,
mech
though.
though,
He does
so
have
he's
mech.
going to delay that. Well, just too much stuff.
Another anchor smash.
They still can't kill him.
That watermelon got the old everything.
They have the Yules. They could send him up in the air. Oh, the blink! Oh my god! The Regoose was real. One person blown up. Black Hole still available, but no one really to follow up anymore.
So we haven't talked about the Skywrath
Wait,
Necro
hold on,
combo.
hold on, hold on. Here comes the Slark, the Blink Burrow. That's going to be on
Generax.
3 this time. Again, though, Black Hole. He'll drop it. AM's
Generax.
into the party, but just no damage. Monovoid's going to get 1 kill. One more swipe to get the 2nd kill. It looks like the man fight between the 2 carry. Burrow Strike going to come through. AM also dies.
What can you do
Vengeful
against
Spirit is the
Generax?
only person surviving for now. She has a couple of Urn Charge, but she's going to be dead as well.
In the claw.
Okay.
Oh, the Ukes. No.
Not quite.
Give him the minus armor. Yeah. So I think Jerax is actually a god. Like every single team fight, he's stunning 2-3 people.
Sure.
Like, well, how do you deal with that? Like, again though, anti-mage fighting.
Yeah, but that time it was kind of like everybody came to him, right?
Yeah.
Like everyone, including his own team. So I think it's easy to just be like, oh yeah, well, we have a DP with Exorcism. We can try to fight this out. I think after QO died, they should have just cut their losses, right?
Yeah.
But I think Heen was feeling he had a little bit of the invincibility factor with Blink and just thought that he could like disengage whenever he wanted and be fine. So I kind of understand deaths like that.
Yeah, so I was saying earlier, the Ancient Seal on the Necrophos ulti with Skywrath's ulti, like anyone is dead. Anti-mage, even with like Manta style, even a heart when if Skywrath gets level 16, like it'll kill him. It's
I
so-
think it's very important for both teams now just forego whatever mobility item and just tank. Like I think the Necro Blink is good because you give you some initiation factor, and obviously the Sanking Blink is very necessary. But like for example, Enigma, Meg, Strength, Cred, Overclub, and looks like we're gonna see a immediate detection of a Roche. I'm not even sure how they saw that.
Okay.
Do they hear? Do you hear the spooky ghost when it's
No.
used? I don't think you do.
No.
I don't even know how. The terror wasn't in range. Sanking didn't see the terror, so.
If he does it again, I'll see it.
Okay, now well
Okay.
you'll see the Sanking
Blink
as well.
cancelled.
Ooh, I don't know about this Burrow Strike and an ult drop, but looks like Aegis is going to get picked up by QO. And there's a lot of damage from the Ghost. And here we go, they're going to try to get out. The Ravage will actually take down the Aegis. No more Ghosts anymore. And it's a very long reinforcement point for MVP. No Ravage coming out here. Mech is available. And they're chasing up on the high ground. Here comes a Blink. Anti-Mage comes in with the Monovoid. Gets one more kill. Looks like the teamfight contribution of AM is doing pretty well. Trying to chase out the TIE Hunter. TIE Hunter, very tough kill. Meanwhile, on the back line, it's Slark mowing down all of the supports. Tanky Ogre running. And actually, they're actually running away from the Slark. Very surprising. They burst down the Slark, or excuse me, burst down the Necro. Slark still chasing away, and looks like they're okay. MVP
They're never
Phoenix,
stopping. Oh,
really
nice
mobile.
one.
Oh, that Blink. Why
Okay.
Ignite not do instantaneous damage?
That'd
Ice
be
Frog, please.
that'd be a bit ridiculous.
It would be kind of insane, wouldn't it?
Like instead of throwing a bottle, it just like he has a blow dart and he shoots it at you.
It's just like a flaming blow dart.
Yeah, yeah.
That was pretty cool. So, I mean, all in all, they got the Aegis, but I still don't really feel like that fight favored them, especially considering that out of that whole thing, he ended up getting the tier 2 mid.
And
So-
like look at his gold now. All of a sudden he's like the money lord.
Reason with the
clap
patty cake TP home, no big deal, it's fine. But they're running into this problem, like for ASC is, they're not getting any towers. Like, there's full map control still on the side of MVP. 4Ev is actually going to have a BKB soon, and BKB Black Hole with a mech behind it is extremely dangerous in these situations where you have heroes that really want to be in the middle of the fight. Like, Sanking has to go in.
Radiant's
Yeah.
bottom tower
Like,
is
Tide
under
has to go in, Slark has to go in. So it's starting to get to that point where the Enigma is starting to become more of an issue. You can't really pick anybody anymore. The AM is going to start to become very, very hard to kill. And the rest of MVP is just a really strong fighting squad in general. So
Oh, Necro ulti. Oh, nice. Huge kill there.
Yeah, the only way to answer the Black Hole now is the Necro ult, and you definitely don't want to just kind of use it as a mini stun. I mean, if your entire team's getting Black Hole, you kind of have to.
Yeah. You were talking about tanking up earlier, and I think that's one thing people kind of forget about Necro. Like they are kind of think about his ulti too much. You know what I mean? And they think, okay, he blinks in, he kills one person, team fight won. But he's one of the most sustainable like team fighting heroes in the game. You know, you're constantly pumping out the heals and your ulti.
Jerax.
Oh,
He's a solo black hole here. I believe he is a gunner.
And the Urn.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Well, actually, his team might come in here and clean up. The mech's gonna come through from the TIE Hunter.
oh my God.
Okay, Enigma's dead. Venge is gonna be dead as well. Where's the reinforcement from the Radiant hero? It's not
Beautiful
here because
play.
everybody's dead.
Okay, so suddenly everybody on MVP has died.
That's-
Game is now different.
That was just a bad fight from MVP, right? Like,
Yeah.
Bottom tower is under attack.
well, I think tanking up for FC is quite necessary, but it seems like we're getting to a point where they also are starting to lack damage. Like, just ignore the fight that happened because it was kind of a classic 1-by-1.
And that was it was 4v5 as well.
Yeah, but those kind of fights are really important because, like, for 4ESC, normally they wouldn't be able to get stuff like that.
Radiant's bottom
But
tower
they ended up, like, baiting a Sand King into turning it into 4 hero kills.
Yeah.
Like, that's so important. And they get a tier 1 out of it, so
And a
getting the
blink dagger
first
as
tower...
well.
Yeah, and now they got Blink Dagger on Tide. Trixie was still, like, pretty farmed given the laning phase that he had. So, all things considered, I think that 4ESC kind of needed that.
This game got all of a sudden closer.
I'm sorry?
All of a sudden, the game got a lot closer. He zoned out there for a second.
Yeah,
he looked
I
off
thought
into the distance.
I heard something weird out of my right ear. I think
Yeah, it was something about earlier.
in-ear was messing with me or something.
Matumba Man playing very aggressive. Black Hole is down, but he's gonna run right into Ogre. Immediate death fact, but he's trying to run away from
Oh, no.
everybody. He's trapped, and they know it. Okay, never mind.
Well, not anymore. See you later.
Uh-oh.
Exorcism is used here. They want to try to go for Trixie.
This is a
He's silenced.
risky
He
go.
does have Ravage. He's going to be forced to use it. They're going to actually
swap?
kill Q. The swap is not going to do anything. The Reaper Scythe went off before the swap. Still ends up dying. Very nicely done by
They're
4ESC.
still chasing
oh,
those.
the multi. He is saying
the Regoose?
screw magic right now. Oh, Matumba Man actually wasted his bounce, but the epicenter is massive coming out from Jerax. It's 4 down on the side of MVP. Heen forced to retreat.
I don't understand that kind of chasing up the high ground. You just lost Exorcism. Mech was down. There is no black hole.
Losing vision of the Sand King is like something really hard to keep track of in team fights.
Radiant's middle tower
But-
is under attack.
Well, Sand King wasn't even at the start of that fight.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's
you
the thing.
know.
It's like you didn't know where the Sand King was.
Right, so I don't think you run up a hill to find out, right?
Yeah, I suppose that's fair. I think they were probably just a little bit excited because like Matumba Man wasted his pounce. Like he pounced into a hero instead of pouncing away because it made it look like they were actually running, which means MVP want to chase. So just a really nice bait overall from 4ASC. And Heen sitting here middle lane.
They don't
does.
have Reaper Scythe. Okay.
Aghanim
Yeah.
just finished though on Necro.
This is actually the point in the game where if you pick off Heen with like Reaper Scythe, you actually get so much time to push in all the lanes, and suddenly the game becomes significantly harder.
So, is Reaper Sight really that necessary? Like when they have heroes like Skyrat that are just blowing his people up.
What do you mean by necessary? Like to kill?
Yeah, to kill.
Gonna be able to TP away.
Well, as we see Venge gonna get an engage on Venge. No swap just yet, and they're gonna tank both the Mystic Flare together. AM coming
Oh, he
back
might
in.
be in trouble.
Could get silenced. He does have
Oh, he
Mantis
blinks
out.
forward.
He doesn't have Manta Style.
Oh, cooldown for 10 seconds.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Well, he wants
Heen
to keep
just
chasing
loves
here.
to fight here.
He's totally out of mana. The Slark doesn't really
Big
have
mana
much
void
left.
time?
Jerax doesn't have any mana to stun either. Gonna be able
Wow.
to get that kill. Maybe he wants to keep
And they
chasing.
keep
Oh
chasing.
my God, he's a beast.
Does he have Bloodlust?
I think he might be too deep. He doesn't have mana for Manta
Oh,
Style.
he can go to Intreds maybe? Yep,
Okay, there you go. Mana Void and the Black
Black
Hole.
Hole.
They
He
need
just
the
has no
Burrow
mana.
Strike. No mana for that
is the
one.
AM?
But there's no
He's just
damage though.
failed.
Yeah, there's no damage. Everybody's gonna back off.
Holy crap.
Ooh, AM comes back in. Standard AM contribution.
Okay, this is pretty
This is
funny.
so scary.
They're just running people down. Hey man, that's another kill.
Did he have Dead Prophet ulti? In 6 seconds? This is mid-Rax.
Yeah, that's Glyph. There's no buybacks on
Yeah.
any of these heroes. It actually is Rex.
Holy
What
crap.
just happened?
This is holy
It
crap.
was like 4ESC just got 4 kills. Looked like they got a tower. They looked really good. And then they all die. No, actually they killed like 4 again.
Yeah.
Right? And then they all died. And now MVP is going high ground.
So,
Oh, Blink Ravage. They're going to be able to burst QL. There's
Jesus.
not going to be a Rax, I guess. 4Ev.
Not
on
today,
full
says
retreat. He's
Trixie.
like, I don't want any of this. Just going to TP out. He'll be fine.
I wish Nick will also clap as he TPs out. It's just the whole team just
I
clapped.
mean, these are the types of games that are really hard to keep track of,
Yes.
like in terms of who actually has the advantage, because it basically just comes down to who makes the better decisions now.
Well-
Well, gonna be dying here.
Oh,
no,
the mech!
again. Trixie, so huge. Blink Matumba Man, Ryzen, maybe able to TP away
Anchor.
from this. No anchor mana. Unfortunate.
No, I meant like
Only
anchor
5
to the
away.
face.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the swap and the kill. March has a haste rune. He's like, I'm out of here.
What is actually going on?
At mid racks, a solo venge.
Well, I think they want
Do you
him dead.
earn? Do you earn Jarek so he doesn't kill you?
No, you miss him. And it's like, I'm out.
It's fine.
Okay, this game's pretty crazy. Like every time I play Necro though, I always say to my teammates like, "Don't worry, we haven't lost until like the fountain's dead."
I'm actually going to uninstall somebody's Dota for
Exactly,
2.5
yeah.
minutes, and
Like,
we're going to win.
It's literally like you go up to the computer and like throw it out the window. Like that's pretty much what happens when you get
Well,
Necro.
it's only
ulti.
for 2.5 minutes, so I hope the computer's like magic and puts itself back together.
They have other computers. There's loads.
It's a very interesting game, to say the least. And, I mean, middle racks are exposed, and Glyph is down, which puts a little bit of pressure on 4ESC to not like put themselves in a bad spot for a little while and potentially just continue to push out lanes and things like that. But Heen, having a BKB, 1,700 gold, probably working his way towards a Basher. That's like the traditional choice if you really want to fight. You could also go for things like Butterfly if you want to be, I would say, very durable. Like with BKB and Butterfly, I don't really think anyone on the side of 4ESC is going to be able to hold a candle to him in like a Rake, like not even a Slark. So
Yeah.
we'll see what item progression he decides to go for.
Yeah, you really need to start some kind of big blink ravages to prevent that BKB usage from AM. Because if AM BKBs, that's it. They're going to see him on the low ground here. Or just a couple of ping guesses. What we've seen in the last 2 team fights where Kyo died is that normally Death Prophet could just like siege with Exorcism.
Yeah.
He just gets blown up, and here comes a Sand Epicenter. They're gonna throw everything. Reaper Sight doesn't get the bonus timer, but gets a kill. Here comes Enigma with the BKB. Need to pop the mech ASAP. And where's the chase going here? The ghosts are kind of going left and right, and they have to back off. 2 heroes immediately dead on MVP side. Burrow Strike's gonna find Enigma. They're gonna focus right on him. He does. Well, Rabbit's gonna come out right here. 2-3 man anchor smash as well, and it's gonna be the Necrolite on the back line, just heart stoppering, giving heals, giving death pulses, and it's a 5-man wipe. Wow.
Holy crap.
4ESC just making all the right plays. Like they knew that there was no vision there, so they obviously had an opportunity for Sand King to initiate, and they just took advantage of it. I mean, they start off by basically killing the AM, like you said. It wasn't a Reaper Scythe death, but
Pretty
still,
close.
being out of the fight is all that really matters.
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
doesn't have bots, so there's no way he's going to be able to contribute. At that point, biggest threat basically outside of DP is gone. A black hole is not really that scary unless the AM and the DP are
Yeah,
both
they need
there.
follow-up for it.
So, with that being said, very nicely done by 4ESC, well executed. Pushing into a tier 2 at nighttime with no vision, again, kind of the same thing that we saw them do
my
when they went high
goodness.
ground, middle lane. Oh, Ryzen, he's a goner.
I mean, these chains of kills not only guarantees you a tier 2 very easily, they could go back and check for Roche, which they have a career very nicely parked there. I mean, getting the Sages is absolutely huge.
Is under attack.
Who do you put it on? Necrolite? Or Slark? Slark, probably. And just let him go as ham as possible?
Do they even... I feel like they don't even need an Aegis, but I guess it's good to have a Necro, right?
I think you do put it on Slark or Necro. Maybe Necro.
Necro's pretty weak compared to Slark, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it allows them to basically just blink in and just come at me, you know?
Yeah.
Could play it quite differently. It really sets up your Ravages and your Sanking, and
What do you go here on Necrolite? Is it a Shiva's game? Oh, he's going straight Refresher.
Radiant's bottom
It would seem.
tower is under
I mean, if you can't kill him with one Reaper Scythe, kill him with a second one.
That's how it works.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, even if you Reaper refresh Reaper on one hero, as long as it's the AM, that's
Sure.
fine.
Yeah,
Why
it
not?
really is. And building items like Hearts, for example, on Death Prophet, nearly, well, it doesn't buff it, like, kind of, but, like, it does increase the amount of damage it does.
Yeah,
So-
but I mean, it's a trade-off, right? It's like the Reapers does more,
But the damage you do does less.
yeah, the damage that you have to do to get him in Reaper range is more as well.
I think it's very vital for Enigma to work on a pipe now. I'm not sure what Enigma is working for, but after BKB and Mech, you just, again, you make your team tank more. And pipe is probably the most effective way to tank against Reaper Scythe
Or you
and
just
Epicenter.
say to them, guys, just buy BKBs.
Oh, here we go. Jerax going for the ulti here. It goes right onto Heen. Where's the follow-up, though? There's absolutely none.
MVP initiated at the exact same time.
Yeah, I mean, Boogie's going to be forced back here. Ghost's not going to kill him, though. Be able to walk it off. No big deal. In the meantime, 4ESC secured the tier 2 bottom lane. A little bit of trading going on here, I guess. But that was really awkward. Like, why even ulti there? Like, you don't have the one hero on the team that you absolutely need to kill Heen, and that's the Necrolite.
Yeah. So, he could be going for Lincoln's on Necro, but I'm pretty sure it's probably Refresher. Like,
I don't know why you would buy Lincoln's. Like,
To stop swap mana void?
There's a ton of stuff that breaks it though. Like
Like what?
well,
Magic
Malefice,
Missile.
Ogre Stun,
Yeah.
Ignite, Magic Missile, Swap.
But they're all stuff you wouldn't mind dodging in the first
Yeah, I
place.
suppose that's fair. Ignite's probably the worst spell to block, but I still don't think it's worth it.
I mean,
Like,
given
not
the
even
fact that
close.
he has a Aegis right now, I don't think he's thinking about
He's not.
Linken's.
He doesn't worry about living.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe if March was like level 16 and had a Blink Dagger, maybe he would want a Linken's to not get swapped like 8 million range into the other team.
Okay, true or false? Like, 4FC live and dies by the initiation. If they ever muck up initiation where Reaper Scythe goes on AM successfully blinks out,
If they
they
go,
lost the fight, right?
if they go on Necrolite, they lose. Like if they actually successfully go.
Assuming there's no Aegis.
Yeah.
I don't
think
know.
so.
I would agree their initiation is pretty important. I don't know if it's all encompassing though.
It like they have so much follow-up initiation. Like they have Ravage, they have Sand King. So if they initiate on the Necrolite, they have a lot of stuff to bring the fight back to their favor. You know what I mean? They also have, like you're not killing Slark now.
Yeah.
It's going to be very difficult. He needs to make the mistake.
I think really the ball is in Coriasi's court, like depending on what they want to do, more or less.
Yeah.
I mean, Heen's going to get to a stage where suddenly he's going to be like, all right, this is a big issue for us because he's going to start becoming a split push monster. He did opt for the Basher. So, I mean, this is the point where you have to make the choice of do I want to buy bots and get an extra inventory slot or do I want to finish my Abyssal Blade, right? Because if you buy another item right now and you don't have a TP, your split pushing potential is basically stunted until you save up that 2,000 gold for bots.
Yeah.
Or 2,400, I guess, because you have to buy new boots as well. But it's really kind of troublesome because there's a 5 to 10 minute phase at this point where he has to really commit to an item choice, and that's like what he's going to live and die by.
And perhaps also save for buyback.
Yeah,
depending
and
on how-
buyback obviously
yeah.
is really important as well.
Jarax has so much farm. Like it's kind of insane.
I mean, if he ever gets to a Hex, that's where things gets quite dangerous for AM.
Ethereal Blade, dude. Ethereal Blade.
I don't think they need more damage.
If they use Ethereal Blade on top of Skyrat and Necro ulti, like who lives?
I do agree that it would kill pretty much anyone,
Yeah.
but if you're getting double Reapered, you're still dead anyway.
But then
Like-
you have the second Reaper for Death Prophet.
Oh, that girl went back for a BKB. Interesting.
Pretty necessary, I suppose, against...
I disagree.
once you Reaper Scythe
I totally
and
disagree
AM
about BKB.
Mana Voids, I mean, it also blocks the mana break damage.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
That part is true, but we were talking about how important it is for the Necrolite to be the one who doesn't really go in first. Like, I guess ideally you would want the Slark to go in, and then after that you have the Necrolite find the Reaper target and just Reaper him, and then Trixie goes, or, you know, Jerax is already in the fight, or what have you. So,
But we were just saying that if MVP jumps the Necro, then 4FC have lost, right?
Yeah. Then no, it's
The
way more
BKB
difficult.
allows you to kind of be like, you know what, it's not so bad.
oh, that's so BM.
I mean, that's excellent. Well, how's that
the-
even BM?
That's the BM Reaper, dude.
Dude, 70-second cooldown.
That's like the value Reaper.
I mean, it is. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm
Thanks,
just
come
saying,
again.
Like, it's BM
It's bad
because
mannered.
I know that feel.
use your
You know?
spells.
You're just on the other side of the map. You're possibly trying to throw down a ward, and then you just get Ags Reapered, and then you're dead for a minute and a half,
Yeah.
and you can't do anything.
Oh, they want to get him dead. The blinks are
nice
coming
blink.
in. Epicenter being channeled. This could be great. It only... Oh, my God. That Enigma just got deleted off the game. And right now, Anti-Mage is not actually... Oh, actually, never mind.
Abyssal.
The Super Basher comes out. BKB does not
Trixie's
help.
waiting in the wings.
Well... Kyo in a little bit of trouble on the back line here. No, never mind. Sluck needs to jump away.
He has Heen beside him, hugging him.
They're kind of in a very awkward position, though. Don't want to fight in those woods. Sanking looking to re-burrow strike, and he will find that Kyo taking a ton of damage now. Here comes a Super Bash against Anti-Mage as well. Ravage will come through against two. They don't have enough damage, though. There's a hard on Kyo.
Jarax
And
has
AM needs to
one.
blink out. Why did he not blink out? Maybe he got silenced?
Bashed.
Well, Kyo's dead as well.
Oh my
Is this Rax?
lord!
They don't have any push, though.
Jesus.
Wakamba Man is the Bash Lord.
This game, it's all over the place. Like, 1 second it's like, okay, MVP are getting racks, then you're like, no, they're not getting racks, and then
But that's why we were kind of saying, like, after a certain extent, it's like, it just depends on who fights better
Yeah.
during what engagement, right? Like, we're at 35 minutes in, but the cores both have an insane amount of items. Like, the Stark having an Abyssal and the AM having an Abyssal essentially means that whoever gets the Abyssal first or whoever gets like Reapered first is dead.
Yeah.
Like that's how it's going to come down to. So it's all about vision. It's all about having the proper initiation, knowing what your focus is.
Do you think
and
they
just
regret
executing.
using the Reaper on the Ogre there?
I would say so.
Well, I think if the Reaper was not used, Ogre would have been there for the tail end of the fight.
Oh, Matamba Man just behind a tier 2, casually getting a kill.
This is worth the black hole, I think.
do
Never
we
mind,
have
there's
the
nobody
follow-up
here.
damage?
Oh my god,
Yeah,
Jarex
Pharaf-
has his Hex, the stun to follow it up, he's dead.
Oh my god.
Dear God.
They
has
just need to
4K
be
gold.
all alive.
Tower is under attack.
At the same time.
Yeah, they can't do this one for one. And I gotta say, if you're trading those like big spells, the important spells, like Andy pointed out, the Reapers, the Abyssals, I'm gonna have to add like the Blink Hex Burrow Strike to that list as well, because it's just doing way too much. Initiation is like there you go, like he's in his base and getting initiated on, and he's
Holy
dead.
crap.
I don't think we're gonna see MVP alive for all 5, at least not before this Rex falls.
I mean, none of these heroes have buyback, but at the same time, I don't know if it's really possible for them to just go full out high ground right now. They don't have Ravage, they don't have Shadow Dance. They do have Reaper though.
They have Blink Reaper, Skywrath.
Yeah, they have.
Are they looking
have
for that
Reaper.
one pick off before they commit to anything
If they
else?
pick somebody off now, like Heen, for example, I think the game is over. Like,
Oh,
5
Heen
heroes
exists.
being alive.
Are they
And an
going for
Ags Reaper to an AM right outside of the base.
Jarex playing so aggressively. He has no fear.
Oh, he's got 4 staff ghosts, man.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
fine.
And Hex. He just goes. Like they go on DP here, I think.
What do you feel about this decision, right? For AM, you see 5 hero parked outside your mid, and he just like, you know what? I'm gonna blink top and split push.
It's
Going
fine.
high ground is still a daunting task, even if it's a 4v5. And a lot of the heroes in MVP were about to be up anyway. So at worst case scenario, 4ASC put themselves in a good position to get Roshan when it spawns, which is apparently very soon. So I don't really think they're too distraught over the AM pushing top. It's not like he's going to get a tower. And you see, like, since 4ASC are playing off map right now, the AM is forced to back anyway. He has
Yeah.
no choice. He literally has to go back. And it turns out that they're actually just going to smoke up and try to go for Roshan because they realize that it's going to be up soon as well.
They don't have very many aggressive wards there. They only have this like one ward on the high ground in the Radiant jungle.
Yeah, but they read the situation perfectly,
Yeah.
which is, oh, we need lane equilibrium to make sure that Roshan is not just given away to 4ASC, because that means that our team fight is not really high chance of success. And it is up now. Abyssal, again, with the Manta on the AM, so whoever they catch is dead.
Well, here's the thing: the catching power of MVP is not nearly as good as 4SC.
I would say Blink Abyssal's pretty
Yeah,
good.
that's their only way to initiate.
How do you
right?
kill Jarex? You don't. Yeah.
Oh, if he gets Malefist,
The Bloodlust speed,
Okay.
he stops the Blink with the Midnight Pulse.
Malefist.
Nah, he's going to get
Black hole in the dark. Oh, probably a little bit too ham.
in the dark.
That's really a little bit too ham.
away. I'm kind of confused as to why he opted to burrow instead of blinking first. If he had clicked too far forward, he would have not burrowed, gotten hit by that Crypt Storm, and life would have been tough. But if you just blink, you always blink, you know?
Maybe his burrow strike was closer to his finger.
Yeah, I guess that could be a thing. That's true.
I don't know, it's the only thing I can think of.
Refresher on Trixie here.
Oh god.
Opa double Ravage.
So instead of Necrolite and Skywrath initiate now, I think you do the other way around. You let Trixie initiate with the Ravage.
Yeah, you absolutely do. Because
Yeah.
Trixie's going to stun him for like 4 or 5 seconds.
Exactly,
Right?
yeah.
So as long as he gets the
And-
Reaper target, then you're good.
And the damage alone from the Ravage, like, Jesus. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's quite a bit of damage. 900 unmitigated, which is like 700-ish, right? Maybe like 6 something. Because it's 25% base magic reduction.
Yeah.
So unless you're AM,
Or Meepo.
and then you take no damage. Yeah.
This fight is so hard for MVP to fight into. They have one way to initiate, which is AM blinking into Abyssal. And when you do that, the rest of the team kind of just have to follow up.
Or the YOLO Black Hole.
I
Yeah,
mean,
but he
you-
does have a BKB. Oh, the YOLO blink.
Okay, is he gonna
immediately
Abyssal him?
shadow dances? He's in some trouble. He pops a BKB before the Reaper. He's not going to take damage, but he gets Abyssal bladed. He might still die. The Ravage, no, he
he's
blinks up to the high ground. He's okay for the time being. The Black Hole comes out. The second Ravage to follow it up. 4F had the BKB on, so the Black Hole did not get canceled. It's a 1-for-1
Trixie's
trade right
getting
now.
blinks
And
back
Spark
in.
is down. He's such a man. He's realizing that he has no HP. The ding. They just annihilate Boogie. They're chasing down Jarex. He's going to try to retreat up to the high ground. Still silence for the time being. He 4-steps out. He's finally not silenced anymore. Still has the Ghost Scepter. Uses his Sandstorm to try to juke. Blink in 2 seconds. He's going to get stunned once again. The Malefice to follow it up. I do not know if he's going to be able to live through this. His silence is still on him for another couple seconds. The chase.
Oh my god, Heen. Like, he
That
literally...
BKB timing. Like, if he did not BKB there,
The game was nearly over, I think.
like, they would have killed him. He would have had no buyback, and they would have got Roshan.
And maybe Midrax, to be honest.
I think Forev actually saved the fight though. Like his BKB black hole, like
Yeah.
holding them down like that. That was the only reason why they were able to recover from Heen basically being dead before the fight
And
even
he
started.
blinking back in on like 10% life.
Yeah, that was. I think he thought the Roshan was low enough where he could snipe it and get the Aegis.
Yeah, yeah.
But that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
And this BKB pickup is huge because what we saw in the last team fight was Enigma BKB and walked in. The rest of his team just all got Ravage. And then he kind of had to black hole and wait out the Ravage. And then allow the Exorcism, allow
These are 2 huge items coming up here.
the Ogre to do stuff. But now you have triple BKB on your cores. And you kind of could just BKB and say, you know what? I don't care about the Ravages. I don't care about the Epicenters.
You've Aghanim's just finished an Ogre as well. That's a huge amount of lockdown.
Yeah, the Aghanims is actually quite big. We also kind of failed to mention that during the fight, like Mutumba Man basically panic shadow danced at the very beginning when he
Yeah.
blinked in. And when you do that, you put yourself in a very precarious situation when you don't have a BKB, right?
Yeah.
So as soon as the shadow dance wears off, it's like, oh, I actually just explode.
This might be bad.
I guess the best thing he should have done is Abyssal, right? But
Well,
I
he
guess
did Abyssal Heen. But he Abyssal Heen after he popped BKB because he got Reapered, right? But he had BKB on, took no damage, and then he was gonna blink away and got Abyssal, and that's why he got so low. So if he had gotten like a bash or something in addition to the Abyssal, they probably would have killed Heen. But even if they did, they still would have lost the fight. It was just icing on the cake that the AM didn't die. That was an insane fight though. See, Lumi and I often talk about what we consider exciting games. This is an exciting game.
It's an exciting game to me.
I don't know who's going to win. Like, that's the
But
best.
you like every game. That's
This
the
one
thing.
I like more.
It's like your standards. Oh, Valix. This is not the hero you want to be caught by, and
and
that is
BKB
why
as well.
Abyssal Manta AM is incredibly scary.
Now you just force out the buyback, right? The mid is actually exposed. Keep, like 10 minutes ago we had that
dude.
crazy tier 3 fight.
He has Refresher in the base. He's probably saying to himself, like, do I really need to buy back? You know what I mean? I have this Refresher right now if I don't buy back.
Oh, if you don't buy back,
I mean,
you're
if you
losing
don't
2
buy back, your
Rexes.
base is dead.
Yeah.
Like, they have a tier 2 bottom, which means that they can either throne or they just go top and then back, which I think is what MVP is going to decide to do. And they do have at least 1 Ravage. I'm not sure if the Refresher is up. Okay, it just came off cooldown. Here's 1 Ravage. He pops a BKB before it hits again. They do manage to burst down QO, and they're going on 4F. He might be forced to Black Hole, but he gets Abyssal and Reapered on top of that. But unfortunately, it's not going to give him the buyback debuff or anything of the sort. I mean, they're
this
going to
Dark Chase
retreat
is the
out,
concern.
but
I mean, you basically traded 2 of your def for 2 def and 2 buybacks on 4SC, and you got a mid lane of Rex. Big trades.
yeah, I think MVP definitely come out way ahead.
Yeah.
Like, not even close. Because that means that if 4ASC want to do anything like counter pressure, they're risking heroes not having buyback, and they have to assume that MVP are going to have buyback for the push.
Yep.
So it
And-
basically means that you've bought back to farm.
And you also have down 1 Ravage. That's kind
Yeah.
of the other thing. Actually, no pick here.
No, what?
No Picarino.
No pick.
Yeah.
If there was some bash
0-0.
magic against that AM.
Okay, so you have 6.5k gold on AM. You get your bots.
Yeah, I think you buy bots. This
Well,
then-
for this particular fight, I'll try to get heart. If
Or
I can
have
get the
buyback.
courier. Yeah.
buyback is way more important than any item right now.
Well, the thing is, if you get Reapered, there is an Aghanim, right? Is buyback even...
Yeah. How
what you
close is
save
his
for?
Reaper to being up?
Okay, he's got Aegis. Does
It's
that
a
matter?
70-second cooldown, so it should
His
go-
Aegis expires in 2 minutes, so I think that they would want to take the fight sooner rather than later, and it looks like 4SC are thinking the same thing. I'm not even sure if that swap was necessary. I would have just let him die. Ryzen actually going to be the recipient of the Reaper here. He's going to be dead for 91 seconds, no buyback for him. But all of a sudden, 4ASC just coming down middle lane like, what's up? We're fine. We don't want to have the Enigma buyback because it's 10 seconds on his respawn anyway.
Are fortified.
Don't
What a
wait it
game.
out. AM's
Butterfly actually done. QO in some trouble now. Mutumba Man does not have Abyssal up. Heen blinking forward aggressively. They
This
really
is so
need.
tense.
They need a Rax here, though. I really think they need a Rax.
Enigma's coming back in. I hope he has BKB prepped up. He BKBs and then finds nobody. BKB timer gets drained down here. Looks like Skyraft
This is
Mage is
bad.
going to get the picking. This team wants to fight. This epicenter being channeled in the background. It misses everybody cleanly. They find Enigma. They got to burst him down before he actually gets a black off. They do successfully do
versus the
so.
world?
Anti-Mage. He's the only one alive. No buyback on the Vengeful Spirit.
dear.
Is there any buyback on the Nick? Sorry, the Ogre Magi.
No,
No,
Ogre got
he got
Reapered.
Reapered.
Also, okay, Venge is back soon
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, Venge is back soon. DP and Enigma both can buy back.
Why are they not pushing mid? What
They're
is the
pushing
Slark?
two
They
lanes
are
at
pushing
once.
mid. I mean, Slark could be hitting the racks, but he's
Yeah, but
okay.
look at Slark's damage.
All right,
he's
he's
still
hitting two
going
racks.
on his own. He's going to get Abyssal Blade, but he got the Dark Pact off. Jerax going in for the stun. QO
God.
forced to buy back along with 4Rev. Heen blinking forward. They've already committed 2 buybacks to this. Jerax seemingly okay for the time being. He needs to get an auto attack off. Sandstorm is there. Bring out a Crypt Swarm.
Okay,
Throw
okay.
a strike forward.
Bash.
Jerax getting
Okay.
caught. He's
Bash.
dead.
Okay, so Heen has 8k gold now. I think you spend this gold right now because you need something to win the game right now. You know what I mean?
I think Butterfly Bots is kind of what, at least what I think is personally good here.
Butterfly bots.
Because if you buy a heart, like sure, you're going to be tankier. But again,
They have a hex now, bear that in mind.
yeah, they have a Hex. They still have Reaper. The lockdown, like if you get locked down, I don't think extra HP is going to save you. I really don't. I just think that it's all
So
about...
you just want all damage.
Yeah, all damage, split push potential, like wave clearing speed.
Okay.
And if you blink Abyssal somebody, you really, really kill them. Like there's
Sure.
not really much that 4SE is going to be able to do. I mean, what, you get Reaper Scythe stunned, I guess, or Abyssal Bladed, and that's it? That's all
Yeah.
they have to stop you during that?
That's a fair amount.
Yeah. I mean, it's enough to the point where it is a tiny bit risky, but I just don't really see...
They have 2 Reaper sites now as well.
Yeah.
I need something
But
to
if you
win.
get
Butterfly.
Reaper with BKB on, yeah, it is Butterfly, so... I'm an AM player, what can I say? A scummy, disgusting AM player.
Anti-mage by Butterfly, hold the phone.
Yeah, but I mean, in this game, there is actually a decision to be made between Heart and Butterfly.
That's true. Money. Screwing with you.
Oh, if Reason gets picked off here, there's a high ground ward in the enemy base, right? Is that their ward? The enemy ward?
Okay.
AM should be fine.
Yeah, I think he's okay.
Oh, there's a hex. Oh my god.
Oh my god, he saw him.
He has him.
Does
He has
have
him.
blink
If
suit?
he
Burrow forward.
Burrow hex.
Burrow for hex.
Oh, he doesn't see anyone though. That's the thing. Like he doesn't
It's
see
too
anyone
dark
on MVP.
outside.
Yeah, he can't continue to chase that. They didn't have enough vision. That's really the main problem.
Man, this game is awesome.
Tis mine.
Yeah, that high ground ward is actually huge. If Sanking sees somebody like exposed, could be the initiation they need. But it's gonna be MVP taking the charge down to the mid lane.
Do you think that Necro adds a new element to Dota? Like,
Oh yeah.
you know what I mean? You only
is
have one
amazing.
life.
The element is if you screw up once,
Yeah, it's amazing.
You lose
isn't
the
it?
game.
It really is cool. Like,
it's amazing unless you're playing against it.
what
And
if like there was no buyback in Dota? Do you think it'd make it better?
I don't think so. I think it would be like... I think like the infinite buyback thing was kind of silly, where
That
you
was
could buy back
insane.
like
Do you
over and
remember
over and
Spectre?
over and over again. Yeah.
Like Spectre just run at you?
I think there has to be some kind of middle ground where you can invest a buyback into defending your base to delaying the game a little bit, but I think endless buyback is kind of stupid. So I think they kind of found a nice balance. I think that no buyback at all would just be like, okay, 15-minute racks every game, right?
You respawn pretty quick at 15 minutes.
That's probably true. I don't know. I still think it's like,
Oh, the illusion's doing so much work with that butterfly top.
Oh, they found one. I'm not sure if you want to commit a lot to this one kill.
Do they Reaper him again?
Actually, they
Ryzen.
used the Abyssal Blade just for reason. Defensive swap's going to come out here. The Ghost, are they going to black hole this? Yes, they will. They need to really quickly burst him down because he's going to get out of there. The mech's going to come through as well. Reaper Scythe, it's going to actually cancel the black hole. They're going to burst everything on Forev. Where's the anti-mage in all of this? Is he raxing or is he fighting? Enigma's going to be dead.
He's chasing. He's
Where's
going back in
Heen?
now.
All right,
He's
Heen's going to come back in. He sees a Sanking, but he doesn't even get the kill. There's a buyback on TIE Hunter. He has another Ravage available. Let's see if
He
he's going to dump
refreshed
it.
the Reapers as well.
Okay.
he just mana voided like a full mana Sanking. That was really uncharacteristic actually of Heen. Like not even checking Jerax's mana before he threw that out. I think he was maybe assuming that since he had epied and stuff that he would be lower mana than he actually was, but Jerax
Man.
still has a ton of farm.
Okay,
That
so
Hex regen.
Yeah.
So refreshing Reapers is actually kind of like dangerous to do because it's such a low cooldown that like there's no fight going to happen now for a while because everyone's retreating. So therefore the refresher is kind of not used that well.
Well, I guess if
At
you...
the same time, can you assume that though? Can you assume that you're not
Well,
going to get jumped?
Why not wait?
Well, the
Because
The
you have
concern
refreshed
is-
BKB as well.
is that if you don't have your Reapers up and a fight starts, potentially, like, we're talking if you get blinked on and Abyssal Bladed and die, or die, like, right before and you're not able to get a Reaper off or something like that because it's on cooldown, then it can be the end of the game right there.
I think if you can use the Reapers, you can always use the refresher.
Yeah, that's
Wait,
probably true.
Necro died, right?
No.
No, he didn't die.
Okay.
Mutumba Man could be in some trouble. He eats an Abyssal Blade. The second Ravage comes in here from Trixie. It hits on 3. Keen getting auto-attacked here by Mutumba, taking a little bit of damage, pops the BKB, will be able to blink to safety. I don't know if QO is going to be so lucky. There's one bash. He's stealing so many stats. The cheese is used. The BKB is real. He's going to continue to run away here, rising on the low ground, getting stunned by Jerax.
They
The leap
need the
actually does
Reaper.
not land for Mutumba Man. Really nicely timed Dark Pack. 4 times multicast.
Okay,
Here it is. Here's the Reaper.
Stunning him. The mana from the Scotty just gets him annihilated from a mana
They don't
void.
have anything.
They have to retreat, and
Sark
Roshan
has
is right
buyback.
there.
Sark has buyback. I think he needs to fight this. Actually, they don't have Ravage. How do they fight
Do you
this?
drop Battle Fury in this case? I think you do.
I don't think you pick it up. You give it to somebody else, like QO.
He drops.
Well, he dropped his boots.
Boots. Okay.
Yeah.
It's also reasonable.
Roshan
All right,
has fallen.
QO's gonna get the cheese, I imagine. And that cheese is still on cooldown, I believe. Cause,
Yeah, it is. He used the other cheese.
Okay.
You don't want to be lactose intolerant.
Definitely not.
Eat too much cheese.
Although I think most people are, just to varying degrees.
Yeah, they are. Especially Asian people. Are you lactose intolerant, Lumi?
I'm okay with milk.
What does that mean?
Not too good.
I like how you just straight up asked him, and he's like, I'm okay with milk. Just giving an opinion on it.
It's okay, like.
It hasn't done anything to slight me.
Oh, Jerax with the smoke ulti.
Oh God, it's
The BKB reaction is so fast. They
Yeah.
only managed to take out March Boogie. He 4 steps away from Heen, who blinks very aggressively into the base. Mutumba Man chasing onto QO right now. He does have another cheese, bear that in mind. Mutumba Man
Okay.
forced to pop his own BKB and just run away. As Heen makes a transition towards top, gets a tier 3 tower. Teleport coming in from the Skywrath Mage. Another nice burst strike coming out from Jerax. A Black Hole actually, and Felix and Mutumba Man, both of course, but it's just buying time for top racks. They're not even looking to get kills. They're just letting Heen do the rat.
And
He's
me-
actually in the sewers right now.
Yeah, and teammate just ignoring the
BKB.
TIE Hunters. Like, you know what? I'm gonna hit the racks, and it doesn't matter what's the outcome of this bottom team fight as long as there's buyback on MVP. Top racks is already gone. AM's riding away,
So,
and this has to be a rush down mid, right? There's just no other way for AFC at this point.
but yeah, that's like the only thing they can do.
I mean, they're going to have everything, which is
And they still have Aegis.
Like in that sense, it's a really good timing, right?
Yeah.
Because you're going to have double Reaper, you're going to have double title. Oh Lord.
oh my god.
Okay, so maybe not as good of timing as 4ASC would like. So if they wait this out, then it's going to be, I think, okay. Oh,
Or
he
here's-
blinks upward to the high ground.
If he
He's just gonna
BKBs
wait out
this-
the Shadow Dance and the Dark Pact. He doesn't have boots,
I think you
remember,
save the
so
BKB until
he
you have
can be
mana.
chased down.
Like, use the Aegis.
Yeah, and you don't want to BKB off your DD. That's the
Yeah,
other thing.
exactly, yeah.
So Kyo down for 60 seconds. No buyback, I imagine. Yeah, no buyback.
Okay. So Jerax is
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
mid bots.
This is it for 4ASC. Like, they need to make it happen.
It's all in.
later.
All in.
They're going on the rain tracks here. 4
I have
blinking
no
forward.
fear.
They have to know he doesn't have Black Hole. It's only been a minute.
You never
Like,
know.
they just got Black Hole.
Well, AM's actually initiating. In fact, the
Ravage, 4 he's going to get Reaper's Scythe, but it doesn't actually deal the damage. Question is, he can't buy back either. Felix, he's in some trouble now, too. He just going ham. Still has the Aegis for a tiny
Oh my
bit. March
God.
actually going to swap him to safety.
comeback!
Oh
They're
my
going to get
God.
the Aegis. Are they actually going to get him again? Nobody on the side of MVP has buyback.
Jerax with the
He's
blink.
the only one alive. Keen, he gets away, but I still think they're actually able to chase him down here.
my God, it's
Third Nets game.
Deleted from the game. Computer thrown out the window.
Wow.
Holy crap.
My God.
Are fortified.
Kyo's back in 6 seconds, but I'm not sure how much he could do by himself. Ogre's the nearest
He can't
one.
do anything. No way.
Ghost
I
can only
mean,
do so much.
he's got
There's
the
going to be
ghost.
Blink,
He's got the
Burrow,
BKB.
Hex, Basher, Blink, Slark. Like,
Oh,
he's
and
just
they're
going to die.
getting right there.
Like, yeah,
the ghost is going to be there.
there's nothing they can do.
BKB's active.
Bash.
And there's a Yules.
No, the Bash
Walk
Lord.
into the base.
The Bash Lord.
Computer at
That's
window.
it.
Radiant's middle
Wow.
I
What
told you.
a game.
Necrolite, dude.
What a game.
He's such an awesome hero.
Awesome or
When you're
not
playing
great
him,
to fight
I pick him
against.
every time.
Yeah, I don't know. That was one of those games where it was just a bunch of clashes back and forth, and then eventually one team gets a better map position and a really good timing. Like, that was the best of possible situations, right?
It's amazing.
You had everything up, you get to the base with the DP not having buyback, and you have a 4v5 with every single ability that you have
and that
available.
Reaper Sight on the 10k gold anti-mage.
Yeah. I mean, the first one didn't really do anything because the BKB was popped, so it didn't matter. But the second one, just literally game ending. Although, to be fair, I'm not sure if Heen would have been able to defend that on his own because nobody else
He
would
could
have
have
been
waited
alive.
with the DP back together.
Yeah.
I still
maybe
think
they
they
could
would have
have
died. Like,
It was amazing, though.
just 2 of them versus the entirety of 4SC. I don't know if that would have worked out. But
Can I-
either way, congratulations to 4SC for at least bringing it to 1-1. So I think pretty much everybody said that was going to go 1-1, correct? You don't know.
I
don't know why I
didn't make
asked you
predictions.
anything. Lumi literally never knows. 2-0 for MVP. Okay.
I'm not sure. Oh, there I am. Yeah, I said 2-0
Okay.
for 4 ASC.
Okay.
And I take back everything I said about Jurak Sanking.
Yeah, he literally,
Literally MVP.
dude. Yeah, he was MVP, 100%. Like he got so many triple stuns and double stuns in the first like 50, and he got first blood
Look
with
at how
illusion.
happy he is.
Yeah.
So happy.
Literally,
I
okay.
mean, that's like the Enchantress Micro, right? Like
He
when
gets
you
his
click
hand
the
back.
hero with your,
then you
your
use the
hero, and then
illusion.
you just hit the
Yeah.
illusion. You just block for days, dude.
Yeah.
Where you at?
Yeah.
That was really impressive, though, to be honest. So we got one more series for the day, right?
We have one more series for the day, and I just want to have a question because that game was amazing, right? So
Yeah.
you know, nothing to say about that. But I have a question regarding MVP's choice of moving anti-mage away from safe lane very early on to fight mid for tier 1 tower, which he then died at the start of the fight. They still won the fight and they got the tower, but anti-mage was like dead for that, so he didn't get anything off the back of it. And my question would be like, could they have just not let them like farm a little
Just
bit
let him
more
farm?
before they actually
we-
like took him away from the
we
lane?
We
Actually-
actually had that discussion during the game.